As a rising artist and entrepreneur, Rocadopolis, aka Dopo, is all about carrying the legacy. Whether it's through his music, his business UShine Detailing, or just raising his family as a father, Rocadopolis' main goal is enlightening others, spreading the knowledge of business, and putting people in a position to win. So we sat down with Rocadopolis today and talked about his legacy, his journey, his growth, and what his name really means. So sit back and relax and enjoy this episode of Cosmic Creatives. What up, y'all? Welcome to Cosmic Creatives. Back again with episode 3. This is our brand new show brought to you by Quasar Code, where we bring out dope-ass creatives, entrepreneurs, and just dope people in general, have conversations with them, pick their brain, talk about their journey, and talk about how they got to where they're at.
Facts.
Tonight's guest is actually no different than our other two guests. This guy is a legend in the city, doing his thing, been holding down for a minute, started his own business. I've worked with this guy. We shot a music video together about a couple years ago. Rocadopolis. How you doing, man?
How you doing, bro?
Excellent, man. Excellent, man. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good. We're doing all right, man. Life is it's all right. Like, can't really complain right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always reasons to complain, and right now I'm not going to. So
yeah, facts.
Absolutely. You got a superpower. That's like one of them superpowers, because, and that's where you have to get inside your mind, is be like, the things that you be thinking is against you, those are actual things that you can be using to fuel you. Instead of take the fuel out of you.
Sure. So let's talk about Rocadopolis. Let's talk first. I know Joey wanted to ask this question, so I'll go ahead and let him ask this question.
I was gonna ask you, bro, because your name is very unique. How did you come for your artist name to be Rocadopolis?
My brother Buck Arbonibon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came up with the name. I was actually going by Rocco. My name was Rocco, and then I know that you hear about the dude from the South. He came out. He blew up. His name was Rocco. One of the cats, he was like, you can't go by that no more. You can't go by that name. Somebody still got that name. I'm like, what you gonna call me? I'm like, what we gonna go with? And he like, Rocadopolis. I'm like, cool. So we just ran with it, and just ran with the brand and just kept building it.
Yeah.
So that's how I got it.
Because it's funny, because I know
but me, everything has a meaning in it for a reason for me as well. So I dissected the name and everything about it, you know what I'm saying, and the spelling and all of the different stuff. So, you know what I mean? Like, rock is the foundation, then you adapt, that's adopt, and then the police is like just having control over your being. You know what I mean? So like, as an artist, it hit right. It just hit right.
Yeah, because one of the things that I was noticing about when because you played at one of our campfires, so it was. I remember you were on the flyer, and one of the number one things that people were saying was like, "Who's that guy? How do you say that guy's name? Rocadopolis?" Like, they were just like, your name was the one that stuck out to everybody. So I thought that would be a good question to start.
And shout out to the OG Rockadollar. You know what I'm saying? IROC. You know what I'm saying? Because he had his name first, and his name, he a pioneer, you know what I'm saying? Like, we both pioneers in our own way, but people can kind of get it. People used to ask me just different questions and stuff, how I got it and did it, because it kind of correlates. You can't say it don't correlate. You know what I'm saying? It correlates with Rockadollar. That's the big homie. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out
to bro making big moves and doing big things and shit.
So let's talk about the journey of Rocadopolis a little bit. How did you even get to be a rapper or to be an artist? Was that something that was like bred into you as a kid, or was it like a turning point in your life? Or actually,
no, it was I grew up listening to all kinds of music, dope, nice music. You know what I'm saying? From Frankie Beverly and Mays to Brother Lynch to you know what I'm saying, Wu-Tang, to different aspects of music. You know what I'm saying? So me myself, I never was into music, but my brothers and them started rapping. They had started a rap group, you know what I'm saying? It was called Vicious. It was called Vicious Intentions, and what it was is, before the Instagram, before the internet, what the motto was to connect with as many as different communities that we could outside of our community, to branch something, you know what I'm saying, within the community. So we kind of like ran with that, and because me and my brothers got different moms. You know what I'm saying? So we got to stay connected still.
So let's dive into that, because I like when we get into like the psychological deep stuff behind like white people do stuff. You said that just right now that you had different moms, and so obviously that means that your father was doing some things, or was it a situation where it was like a divorce, or was it a situation where
it was just a situation where it's like my pops was a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? He was known out here in the basketball. You know what I'm saying?
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's been disloyal and all this different stuff, but he got women. You know what I'm saying? When you're an athlete, you got women, and you know the emotional intelligence that he had back then, how he would have handled himself. You know what I'm saying, as a father, just different stuff as being an athlete and not knowing these different transitions that we go through is, you know what I'm saying, as human life. It's just life breathing. So, yeah, but I mean, yeah, he was dealing with probably 2 different women at one time because I'm be 100% honest with you. My grandpa got 13 kids. You know what I'm saying, and 4 baby mamas.
Okay.
But he the only kid. You know what I'm saying? But he got 13 kids and 4 baby mamas, and they all lived in the same community. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But the way that we looked at life then and the way that we look at life now is totally different through different lenses. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different avenues and perspective that people would like to pursue, and instead of just they're pursuing what's in front of them.
Sure.
But now that we have different resources like Star Camp, you know what I'm saying? We have these different outlets like Voodoo Eyes and like for all of these different things that we can build on and brand on, you know what I'm saying, and make it make sense.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yeah, so the best, I guess the reason why I asked is because I guess when it comes to, I mean, I'm a father, we're actually all fathers here. Yeah, and when it comes to raising your children, I've been asking this question to everybody because everybody that I brought into the show are fathers. Do you see yourself or see your kids following the footsteps of like your entrepreneurism, or do you see them like, are you the type to be like, go get a degree, go to college, and
actually it's like all of the above. They're gonna, you know, because my dad, speaking of my dad, he got 2 master's degrees at Grand Canyon State University.
So education is still important.
So education is important on that, and he wasn't an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? My father passed away, you know what I'm saying, in 1995. You know what I'm saying, when I was a young kid. So that's trauma, different stuff like that. But he still influenced me in so many different ways and through magnitude and just off of things that he was interested in that I had no idea that he was interested in. I gained interest in growing up as a kid, even from like Phoenix College. When I went to Phoenix College, I had the same English teacher as my dad. You know what I'm saying? But he had her at Phoenix Union when he was at Phoenix Union. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this shit was beautiful. How she was telling me stories. She was able to give me Dr. Camila Westenberger. I don't know if y'all know her. She know IROC and all of the different stuff like that too. But
the name sounds familiar. I probably do know.
Yeah,
her.
so
I be forgetting people's names all the time.
So, but my kids is to answer your question though. You know what I mean? I don't want to be long-winded, but to answer your question, my kids, they do got the entrepreneur spirit. They do. They are impacted by, but they have their own direction. You know what I'm saying? They got a they freely think how they want to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like my son, he's into engineering, building, tearing stuff down, and all of the different stuff like that. But he do be going in there like that, cut Dopo music on. He be like, put the music on too. So you know what I mean? Like, but my daughter, she's just like a superhero. She like a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, so.
So you bump your music around your kid?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do.
I think most artists do that. Like,
yeah, I do. But they ask, my kids is asking me to cut it on. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, and it's just the matter of the things that I'm saying because they picking up and watching and seeing what we doing. So yes, your kids, you are a major influence to your kids. Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather my kid want to be like me than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's facts.
That's right.
I'd rather my kid want to be like me than Looney Tunes.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah.
So sure. that's important to me. But yeah,
I definitely changed my artistic creation just off of having kids, you know. And it's like off of like it doesn't hit you until like, you know, maybe like after 5 years that you're like, God damn, like I made a whole human being. You know what I mean? That we responding and understanding and shit. You feel me? So like, yeah, bro. I remember my kids when I made my first love song, they just loved it. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like that showed me, it was like, yeah, I should probably do this a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The kids, it's for the kids. You feel me?
For real.
So yeah, I feel that for sure though.
So let's talk about the entrepreneurial side a little bit. We see that you're branded up. You're very good with your brand. I know this guy where I work with you. You got the name on point. I seen you wearing the Dopo shirt.
Facts.
You got the UShine ceramic spray right here.
Yep,
absolutely.
You do the detail service. You did my car once. You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? So
I remember.
You're just out there grinding. That's always trying to push in different directions. Why? Why did you decide to go that route? It's a loaded question.
I mean, the real why not? You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I say, and then I'll be like, it's important to me, to be. I think I get that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, to go back to what you were saying, like he was just an independent, move straight forward. Like he was the youngest brother, but he had his oldest brothers and sisters and siblings in order, in some type of order, and some type of accountability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think that I'm more interested in employing someone than being, I'm more interested in empowering someone than employing someone. And I'm more interested in empowering myself than working somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying don't quit your 9 to 5s and all that stuff, but actually, you know what I mean? Like,
at the same time.
At the same time, look forward to it. You know what I'm saying? You're valuable. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. I'm about empowerment. And just my past, what forced me into this entrepreneur stuff is just because of the things that I done when I was young, as far as just different shit. You know what I'm saying? That's on my record. You know what I mean? So certain jobs was like, we can't have you here. So I had to just think of a way to be an entrepreneur, and it's been in my spirit. Like my mom's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. If I need to, I play football, so if I need to raise some money to do something, we'll cook some chicken. We'll cook some plates, and we'll figure out how to make it happen for our family. We gonna entrepreneur that. We gonna hustle. We gonna sell some purses. We gonna go to California, pick up some purses and pick up some belts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So always, like my mom too. Like I gotta give super credit. Like my dad he's a star, but my mama's a superstar. Like she, you know what I'm saying? So niggas has been like that's my main influences. You know what I'm saying? And,
So why did you decide to start with, I'm not sure if you started with this company, but with the car detailing service, why was that the move you decided to go? Did you see something in there that other people didn't?
Actually, I started doing detailing at Sanderson Lincoln, and then I learned up there for like a year or so, and then the contract expired, and then that's when I'm like, man, I'm for to do mobile. But I have a friend too. I had a homeboy, you know what I'm saying? He got a detailing company called Reeds and Son Detailing. And that's my grow up partner. That's why I can shout him out. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Mm-hmm. And he invited me on some jobs with him. You know what I'm saying? And then I just got the vision and I just went to thinking. I'm a visionary. I think immediately. You know what I'm saying? We optimize it quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
You saw the green lines in the matrix.
And I'm like, okay, this works.
How long have you had that company going on for at this point?
About 5 years, probably.
Oh, really? It's been that long?
It's been like 5 years, bro. And then, it's been like 5 years, bro. And it seemed like it's been different, because it's beautiful though. It's beautiful, for every single dynamic of it. You know what I'm saying?
What would you say is the most difficult part about being an entrepreneur, or just doing like this whole thing like kind of on your own, basically, you and your wife, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like the balance of family and having the time for your kids and all of the different stuff, because you have so many goals and ambitions that you want to reach out and do all of these different things. So you may miss out on a business play because you're not organized with your kids, or you may miss out with your kids because you're not organized on a business play. Yeah. So that's like, and you care about your kids more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But this business is taking care of these little motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like,
where
it's like the balance, like, you know what I mean? So I just think that I'm finna get into this yoga and meditation shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I meditate in my mind and do stuff like that, but I want to get into this yoga and meditation and really get some balance so we can have better decision making. We can make better decisions, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we have the greatest ideas, but it's just about making that decision to execute these motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, it's very easy to like get caught up or get too comfortable, especially when you have children. You start to fall into those patterns, and then you start to get stagnant. You know what I'm saying? And what's interesting about being an entrepreneur is that there's always something new to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a typical 9 to 5. There's always new challenges. There's always new plateaus to reach, new heights to reach. And if you can instill that into your kids, like if they can see you like kind of grind that out, it's only beneficial in the long run.
Right. And they've been watching. See, like my two youngest is 4 and 7. And they've been watching the whole process of this entrepreneur, dad going to these businesses, he in there recording music, he in there doing shit. Like, this is exciting to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they,
as it should be.
Like, printing our own shirts, coming up with our own product. You know what I'm saying? My son helped me with these boxes, helped me fill up the different stuff because he want to. I don't even have to get him. He'll motivate me. He probably don't even want to listen to Dopo music, but he see when I'm doing Dopo music, I may be happy. So he be like, Dad, cut Dopo music on out of nowhere. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's not mean that he want to hear it, but he just like the mood that I'm in when I'm listening to it.
Right. That's
you feel me? Like that's so
interesting.
crazy. Like I think far. Yeah, I think yeah. But yeah, bro.
So let's talk about Dopo a little bit. So what does that stand for again?
Designs of Prosperous Operations.
And it's a clothing line, or what exactly is it?
It's just me, bro. It's us. It's you. At the end of the day, it's an energy, bro. That's how I can best describe it. It's the energy. And certain energies just take off. And certain things just take off when you put certain energies behind it. It's just, you know what I mean? And just be pure with it. But Dopo is Designs of Prosperous Operations, and it developed into, now it's a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? However, I'm still learning on how to run a nonprofit organization.
Sure, yeah.
But I got one. I've been having it for almost a year, but it's because my mind told me to go out here and do it after the research that I got. Just like with like ASCAP. Like I had ASCAP like damn near 2 or 3 years before I even used it.
Just to have it, right?
Just because I knew I want to get into this music, and just like I was telling y'all, like when I was in high school, I wanted to be a photographer, a videographer. That's why I think I'm a low-key director. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you my guy. I see in much respect to what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like even if we can write some stuff up, like just the different things that, man, we didn't live like 5 lives. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful, man. Like, well, how we can document things now and just leave things in a capsule. You know what I'm saying? For our kids to go back and look at, and just for other kids to go back and look at and build on it and be like, okay, I think that they needed to move the bottle over a little bit more when he was recording. Just different, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
No, it makes sense. What would you say is the most important aspect of being an artist? Like why, like what is your why when you go out there and you create and you do these things?
It's me. I can be myself. Like you say, I do detailing. I do raps. I'm a father. I'm the same person within all of these different aspects. I'm a son. I'm a brother. Like I'm like, man, I don't change within these different dimensions.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't struggle in some of them as well.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But
struggle's part of the journey though, right?
Yeah, so, but I'm consistent with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's pure, man. That's the only way I can explain this shit, really, man.
It's like if you're not,
be yourself. And you know, you got different influences and stuff that come in and all these different things and different ideas that you like to pursue and that you can be great at. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
be you. That's why it's called UShine. I shine, you shine, we shine. But it's really about you shining, so then we can all shine. And if you care about you shining a lot, then that's going to reflect on me. I need to make sure that I'm shining a lot too. But you know what I'm saying? But we can't do it alone, man. You can only do so much. You can only do so much alone. But I don't think other people will be here for us to do stuff alone. Not saying that you got to collaborate with everybody, but people are here for you to collaborate with them.
Absolutely. I mean, that's part of the mythos behind Stark Creative Labs.
But who you collaborate with is crucial too, because I didn't. Man, like
not everybody's peer. Not everybody's peer.
Man,
Yeah,
it's not really a peer thing too. It's like it's just
no, it is that. I think that's what you're saying is correct.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think peer is the right word. I mean, it's a lot of it has to do with your purpose. Like what are you really trying to do? Like what are you driving towards?
Listen to peer. Listen to purpose. Them the same beginning words. It's
I guess you can't spell purpose without peer. Right?
You can't really spell purpose without peer.
Dang, that's a T-shirt right there. That's a hot tweet right there.
Hey, and that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I'm think quick on the fly, fast. You know what I'm saying? But I have to learn how to be calm and be like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's fine. That's good, because I'm be full pace all the time. So I need to learn to be just as accurate as I am fast paced. I need to be accurate being slow and being able to take my time. And that's the environment, because that's the change of environment.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely think there's a balance to that, man, because I mean, life is short for sure. And as we get older, we start to realize how short life really is. And then we start to get kind of like more desperate to grow.
Yeah.
And one thing you were saying is like,
But it's adapting.
it's adapting. Yeah.
adapting, basically.
One thing I was thinking about that you said that kind of popped in my head was talking about how like the concept of resistance. And if you're a seed in the ground, right, and you're trying to sprout, you have to be able to break through the dirt to get to the sunlight, right? If you can't break through the dirt, you won't survive, right? And that's like the first thing that a plant has to do is like break through the dirt before they can reach the sunlight. And that's kind of like what the metaphor is that I get with a lot you're saying, is the idea that like you've been through a lot, like your struggle has been a part of the process. And if you didn't go through that struggle, you wouldn't be the man who you are today.
Facts.
Right.
And you understand that and you appreciate that. There's a sense of appreciation there. Like there's not like a sense of ego or a sense of entitlement. I see your posts and you're just talking about this, like all these things that you appreciate and all these things in your life that you love. And it's like, yeah, man, that's really what it's about. That's like the real journey. That's like what the focus should be about, is like making yourself whole and making yourself feel better.
Yes. Facts.
Yeah. With all that said, going back to the music, let's talk about what you got coming up musically, or what you're working on musically, or what you've been doing recently musically.
I've been I've really been just I got some music. I got some music that I've really been working on in the lab, in the studio, and I can't wait to, I can't actually wait. I'm gonna put it out and give it to y'all in different dynamics. You know what I'm saying? I need to collaborate more because I'm doing a lot. So when it comes to the music, I'm great at putting stuff down and writing stuff and doing stuff like that. But I need a team outside of myself that can help record. It ain't good if you just the only one recording, if you the only one doing videos, if you the only one making posts, if you the only one doing, and I've been doing that shit for a long time.
Yeah,
it's you know hard. What I'm saying? And it's not like, and
it's very time consuming.
And I'm here and I'm grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? But that's been a part of, you know what I mean? Like, I got to collaborate more. You know what I'm saying? To be able to. I'm just gonna collaborate. I'm gonna just.
What is the collaboration? What does the process of collaborating look like to you? Like, how do you choose a collaboration? Like, how do you be like, oh, that's the one I want to work with? Or
it's always different because I'm cool with using whatever I got. More is less. You understand me? Like, I'm cool with using whatever I got. That's why I'm at where I'm at right now, because I appreciate the people around me. So to collaborate with other people that appreciate the people around them, that's probably. It's probably far in between. Mm-hmm. So people don't never really look for it and recognize it and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's important, because it's different. Y'all may be the Splash Brothers. Y'all already winning championships, so I got to figure out how I got to adapt to y'all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or y'all may be LeBron and KD, and I got to figure out how I can adapt to y'all and we can win this championship.
Sure.
Or I got to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how we got to look at this shit, like a video. It's a video game, bro.
One thing you said that was interesting,
you gotta
though,
level up,
is the concept of appreciation. And I think about, it was something that me and Joey were talking about before you showed up, is like how I book for my campfire events. And it comes down to like a lot of people ask me, oh, can I hop on the show, whatever. And it's like, come to a campfire first, feel the vibe, understand what the fuck I'm trying to do, and then you get on an event. And you were on the first campfire. And the reason why I booked you, I'm not even sure if you remember this, but you came to our the party that we did at Painted Tiger.
Yeah, I did. I popped out.
You pulled up to that, and you showed love. You were smoking, we were eating food, and that was like even like kind of like one of the first like kind of concepts.
I want to collaborate with people like y'all, but I'm gonna just say that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I got to collaborate with people that's like-minded, man.
Right.
And you can feel, and it's not even. It don't even be a visual type shit, because people. It's like a whole spiritual type shit, bro. It ain't. It's like a.
It's energy.
I can feel what these people are doing over here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to. I can see what they're doing over here.
Yeah,
I can see what they're doing because I see them promoting the most. But I can feel over here.
Yeah,
and they just dropping little nuggets. You know what I'm saying? And it's an empowerment feeling here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it is. And just this, and not the, just like Song Lab. I don't know if y'all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all heard of them and what they doing, like, it's the same vibe, bro. It's the pure vibe. It's the good vibe. It's like. Where you want to take it is like you going to the gym with your basketball and it's just you in there. And then you can like.
Fuck with that.
Well, it comes down to the purpose, like why you're there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, at that event though that we did at Painted Tiger, like I straight up told you, I was like, bro, like next time I do something like this, I'm gonna put you on the bill. It took a while. It was like a year later.
Was tight.
Like a year later. But yeah, that was like one of the first like was actually like campfire -1 almost.
-0.
-1 or something like that, because it was like the same concept where we had food, we had weed,
Yeah, that's
we had
facts.
performers and shit.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like evolved it into that. But yeah, that was part of the reason why I booked you, because I kind of kept that in the back of my mind. I'm like, man, like his energy is like on point. Like his frequency's there. Like he knows like what the fuck he wants to do with his life.
Yeah.
I rock with this dude like super heavy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I was looking for friends.
looking for
Fuck with
friends.
that. For sure. We're always looking for good people to hang out.
Yeah,
For real,
no.
bro.
Understanding the vibe and understanding the frequency is like extremely important in all this, right? And I think that what it comes down to is that that's part of the reason, like when I was trying to figure out who I was going to bring on as a guest, I was like, man, we got to bring on Rocadopolis, because this dude, like, he's self-made, right? And that's like the important part about it. And like when I say self-made, I mean that like you found that lane that fit you. You even said it yourself, like when I asked you why you do all this, you're like, this is because this fits. This is what I want to do, right? It just felt right. You kept following that frequency, and now you're like, you're doing great things.
The universe will definitely guide you for sure. It was funny when I saw when you first came and you had your product here, I thought it was alcohol. And I grabbed it. I was like, "Dang, what did I?" And then I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, I'll die if I drink this." I was like,
Man.
"That shit funny." But nah, that's
that UShine ceramic spray, man.
Yeah.
It's a really good product.
yeah,
Protects your paint up to 3 to 4 months. It got the hydrophobic in there. You know what I'm saying? So it keeps it protected, especially out here. It rains.
and you make it
dust. Yeah, we put it all together.
like in house and stuff. Or
Yeah,
like,
it's all manufactured by us. You know what I'm saying? Logos,
You in the
packaging.
lab with like some
Yeah,
graduated cylinders and
Like,
shit.
yeah, it's
Breaking Bad.
It's a couple different. I get a product. I get a different. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple different triangles. It's the triangle
mix 'em.
offense, man.
Mix 'em
You
together.
know what I'm saying? It's the triangle offense. You know, it's like
you'll be out here doing chemistry and shit.
yeah, because we are alchemists.
I feel that. For
We
sure.
are alchemists. This is a whole alchemist vibe too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing, like the arts and craft and getting
We are a laboratory.
Hey, that's facts.
getting involved
That's
with.
where I was going.
You know what I'm saying? That's crucial. You know, that's
So what's your ultimate dream and vision as Rocadopolis, or even as Rodney, or even just like as a being on this planet? Like where do you want to be, and how do you see yourself getting there? Take your time, 'cause that's a big question. I know.
I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. If you worried about the past, then you're not in a good space. And if you worried about the future, then you worried and you concerned. So I'm grateful for the moment, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's more important than the moment right now for me. You know what I'm saying? This is what's important for me, because I've did some different stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some different things. You know what I mean? And there's more that can be done, but I'm just grateful for this moment. However, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But first of all, I'm already a legacy.
Sure.
I come from a legacy.
Yeah.
So it's nothing that I need to leave. Sometimes it's not what we need to leave, it's what we need to bring or let go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the key is really just the moment, you know, and just be appreciative. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the people that cut you off in traffic, because it was probably going to be a wreck up there that you just missed.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to just be appreciative. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's important for me, and that's what's helping me grow, and I think that's what's the best ingredient is. And I'm saying this now, but that question is a good question, because it made me think, because I don't always just move like grateful for the moment type shit.
Yeah.
I be trying to stretch and break my arm to make shit happen
Sure,
for the
yeah.
family. You know what I'm
You
saying?
have to,
But them are moments that I need to just be grateful sometimes and be like,
No, the universe will definitely check you when it needs to.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
for real.
It'll definitely be like, yo, bro, you need to chill. You going way too hard right now. You about to, hit that wall real quick.
but yeah, just right now in the moment, bro, like, and everybody like I said, everybody want to leave a legacy or all of the
Facts.
different stuff like that. But I think our legacy is already here. You know?
I've
being
learned-
your best person, being the best person at who you are. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important.
Yeah, I've learned, just to add to what Joey was saying, is not to try to fight the universe. I think throughout my 20s, I thought I knew more than God. I thought I knew more than the universe, and I tried my best to resist the path that it put me on. And then I realized that the moment that you let go and you stop resisting and you let the universe just kind of show you the direction that you're supposed to go through, things open up. I mean, that's literally how I got this place, is just through manifestation and just kind of letting the universe being like, all right, bet. And the thing about manifestation too is that like a lot of people think like, well, I asked God, I asked the universe for this thing, I never got it. It's like, well, you probably asked, but then the answer was probably in front of you. You didn't accept it.
Yeah,
and
you didn't take the proper steps to be able to get that. Yeah,
because those steps usually require
work.
Require some self-reflection.
Yep.
I'm saying, like some personal growth.
I got a question. Do you think it's like a ADHD thing, to where you have the knowledge of what to do, but you just don't have the courage, or you're not taking the steps to do these different things that need to be done?
I think a lot of it's fear.
So that's anxiety. That's the same thing control with the whole, what they label as ADHD. They say these different words and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But
most of the time when you ask yourself fear, though, what are you really afraid of, though?
Right.
Well, it gets deep, and we could talk about this forever. But like deep. We're talking about like societal constructs, and like as we're raised, we're almost taught to live a certain way where we're supposed to fear certain things in certain ways. And it's not until you get older that you realize that like you were indoctrinated to think a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, even as fathers, as us being parents, it's important for us to like instill our values into our kids, not the values of like what society wants you to think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell my son this all the time. He was talking about going to college, and I'm like, cool, go to college if you want to, but don't feel like you have to because of what you see on TV or what you read in the newspapers or internet and all this and that. Because there's
that's great advice. There's
a frequency that we're supposed to be on. You know what I'm saying, like as a human being, and then there's a frequency that we need to be on. Yeah, and oftentimes they're not the same.
Yeah.
So
some people fall into that one where they're supposed to be in.
It takes time though. I think everybody grows into their own shell, right? And like what we hope for is that our children fall into that lane earlier than we do. Right. Like I feel like with my life, I didn't really find my path until my early 30s. And then by then I was like, oh shit, well, I'm already in too deep here. So I got to dig myself out of here and then plant my seed here and grow here. Right. And once like I said earlier, I got to break through the dirt just to even get that sunshine.
Absolutely. And you just a different type of tree. You know what I'm saying? Some trees grow immediately. Some plants take years to even come from under the dirt. You know what I'm saying? But I forgot what plant that was. I think it's the bamboo plant. The bamboo plant takes about 3 to 5 years to even break the dirt.
No.
But as soon as it breaks the dirt, it grows to be 90 feet within months.
Once it hits that sunlight.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like all that time that you were
building,
that you thought wasn't helping you, it was actually the fuel to what got you here, and what's gonna help you keep that balance now.
Right. And it kind of reminds me of Tupac's "The Rose That Grew Through the Concrete." Yeah. The concept of that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that for a rose to even grow through the concrete to begin with, you gotta be strong as fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a crazy ass rose with some crazy ass roots with some crazy ass shit to even be able to break through the concrete.
That's fact.
So once you break through the concrete as a rose, you're gonna flourish like crazy. The only thing that's gonna stop you is if someone picks you.
Exactly.
Right. Metaphorically speaking, however you want to take that.
Romeo and Juliet it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about family a little bit. I know you have a wife, you got kids, and all that.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important thing about being a father? You said that like your father left you at an early age, so you don't necessarily have the blueprint that you follow from him, or maybe you do. But what do you think is like the most important aspect of being a dad?
Say that again.
The most important aspect of being a dad, like the most important trait or factor or thing.
Actually, like being there in the moment, and also giving them knowledge and tools when you're not there. For when you're not there, Do
you give your kids a lot of lectures about random shit? I be dropping like this random shit on my kid.
Oh, I do. Oh
Did
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and they be feeling it too though.
Yeah, no,
so they be like, they
love that shit.
They be locked in, cause then they hit me with some shit that I don't know about.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I call my kids and God would like they hit me with some like that I taught them, they'd make sure that I stand on the same principles of what I taught them. And I love that because I didn't always, that's how I was. You know what I'm saying? With my mom, she always, you know what I'm saying, made sure that I was honest with her. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I was honest with myself, make sure that I was fair. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So in situations where I felt my mom wasn't fair, she don't mind me pulling her to the side, talking to her, and to be like, Mom, I don't think you were fair at that moment. And she'd be like, why, son? I'd be like, because you taught me whoopty woo woo whoop and whoopty woo woo whoop.
Yeah.
And at that moment, she just forgot what she's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just,
which is human.
Yeah, it's human.
Yeah, which I think is fair because I think a lot of it too, when it comes down to being parents, and this is what we realize as kids, when we're kids and we look at our parents, we think that our parents are infallible, and that they're perfect. And so when they do make a mistake, or they like go through a divorce, or they go through some type of something, we look at them like, damn, I thought you were perfect, right? But then as you get older, you look at it from a different lens. You're like, oh shit, like maybe they're not as perfect, right? So it's interesting that you have that open dialogue of honesty with your parents, with your mom, because most parents don't have that with their kids,
right?
Because a lot of that is opening themselves up to embarrassment, showing that they're not perfect to their kids. It's an ego thing. I try to be honest to my son, and I try to apologize when I'm wrong. But also, that's hard as fuck to do, to be like, my bad, kid. You know what I'm saying? I do it.
Yeah, I saw a post somebody said.
Hey, I've seen that post too. I think.
Too?
I've seen that same post.
Is it important to apologize to your kids? I definitely think it's important.
Heck yeah, it is.
Sometimes even when you still get mad at them and like, say you might overreact at a certain time. It's like, you know, you apologize for the overreaction, not for the discipline that you actually, you know what I'm saying?
And that's a question. That's a good question too. But I would also ask the question is, should you be apologizing to them for something that wasn't in your control or something that they did?
It's always,
because that can.
I feel like it's always.
I noticed that sometimes in certain situations, it's like when your little boy do something or your little daughter do something.
Yeah.
You want to apologize for something that was out of your control and out of their control, out of somebody else's actions. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying? So now we have to be able to notice them different signals as well too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, don't get all riled up off of somebody else's actions. You know what I'm saying? But still, you know,
that's hard though.
It is. That's a whole. It is, because they be ready to turn up.
I literally just put out like a free verse a couple days ago, and I have a line in there that says something about along the lines of I will never let another's actions fuck up the game plan, because I realize that that's something that I've dealt with, where somebody else over here does some shit, and by proxy or whatever, it affects me, and now my vision is all blurred, right? Yeah. But if my vision is clear and I have this clear goal way the fuck out here that I'm trying to reach, nothing should deter me from that. Yeah. Right. And oftentimes, like, because I'm so, you know, altruistic and I have a lot of friends and this and that, and I put myself out there, so and so does something and I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta reconfigure my whole plan. No, the plan stays the same. We remain towards the goal no matter what. We just have to figure out how we're all about to get on the same page again. And that's hard to do, but sometimes, because like I said, it comes down to, I think ego is such a powerful, but also at the same time a
cop out.
A cop out, yes. Because
it's a cop out, like, no, fuck that. You ain't got no ego. You just, something didn't go your way, but you agree with something at first. And that's what you basically talking about is Murphy's Law. You know what I'm saying? Murphy's Law plans for anything to go any direction. So we're prepared for anything. That, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing, like, that's one that
just to try to see all the different possibilities to be perfect. Yeah. That's when you start to get into leadership territory, though. Yeah. And when you're a father, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's where you at.
You have to be a leader in your household. You know what I'm saying? You have to raise your kids, and they look up to you as a leader. And so oftentimes, like, a lot of these people are thrown into leadership without being prepared for it, because, you know, they knock up somebody or whatever, or just like the situation where they have kids, or et cetera, so forth. And then when it comes down to like trying to be an entrepreneur or pivoting to something, they think that those skills translate. But a lot of people who are parents, they carry a lot of ego in their children. You know what I'm saying? And it's fair, because, you know, I look at my kid, I think my kid's dope as fuck. And I made that shit. That shit came from my nuts. I made you, motherfucker. And so my kid does dope shit, I feel dope too, right? Yeah. But he's his own individual consciousness. He's his own individual person. He's his own individual thing. and whatever he does is his accomplishments, they're not mine.
Right.
So I don't live vicariously through my children.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's hard. That's very, very hard to do because you just want your kids to be as dope as you and doper than you. Right?
I don't think that's hard for me to do, bro.
Then that's a superpower.
Well, no, I mean,
don't
like
think it's hard because my kids is just really like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because I have seen people do that through sports, through just different stuff and like that. Like that's not, you know. You may see me being a great CEO,
sure,
but I may just want to own I just may want to be a lifeguard. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Being a lifeguard makes me happy, but I know I'm smart enough to go be a CEO.
Well, it's also
and then you'll be like, damn man, what, you just want to be a lifeguard?
Well, no, it's more.
You smarter
it's more
than
like,
me, but like that should be how like in.
We're just talking in the sense of like, you know, if they were to choose the same path as us, you know what I'm saying? We would want them to be as dope as stuff or even doper. But like, yeah, it is true though. If you want your kid to do, if you like, it's best to just let them choose whatever they want to do with themselves rather than.
How do we do that?
Something. You guide them and tell them, you know, you basically tell them like, you know, you.
No, I think we do it by putting them in schools like this is school. Not regular schools.
Yeah,
sure.
We have to give them
like Montessori type
cultural
situations.
arts type. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to do it. That's what's going to do it. Not sending them to the constant being in that dimension where people think you should be instead of where we need to be.
Yeah, that frequency. Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Like you said earlier.
Yeah.
So that's really what's important. Us teaching our kids, man.
Yeah, guiding
them and like hands on. Like
yeah, for sure.
I'm strong with I'm with homeschool. If I had to, you know what I'm saying, I got the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? However, it's just that I feel like I don't be having the time, or I don't feel like, because I'm not, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
And what you just said, that's where it's at.
Because I've been trained to take my kids to school because I was getting took to school.
Sure. But what you just exposed, like one of the biggest problems of all this though, time.
Yeah.
Right. And you as an entrepreneur, you're out here grinding, you got UShine, you're doing the Dopo thing, you do all this shit.
Yeah.
You have to spread your time. And if you had it your way, right, like $50 million drops on your head, you're spending all your time with your kids all of a sudden. And all of a sudden you are putting the money in, putting them in Montessori's and putting them in homeschool and doing that because you have time to do that.
Yeah.
But that's where collaboration is important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because absolutely. I think it's more about space than not time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's more about space and not the time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maximizing your resources, right?
Yeah, that's fact.
And that's kind of like even the reason why I formed this place, right? Like knowing that people in my life have certain skill sets that we can bring in here and we can make a community based off of
beautiful.
That, right? Like where people can, where you're weak, I'm strong, right?
Right.
And I could fill in the holes that you need filled, you could fill in mine. And that can be something where we can build that wall together, right? And build that castle together. And once again, that all comes back to ego. And this is someone who has you see my posts. I have a massive fucking ego on social media.
Man, you Arizona Kanye.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of that ego is shit that's backed up. Like I have the receipts for a lot of shit that I say. But I also know that when I was in my 20s trying to be a young whippersnapper doing this and that, whoop-de-whoop, fucking, I believe that I had all the answers and that my ego was more powerful and more important than fucking what you had to say or what he had to say or what we had to say as a collective. Yeah. Didn't mean that I was like anti-community, but it was like, if we're anti-community, I have to be the leader of the community, right? I'm the leader because I'm the one with all the answers. I'm so smart, this and that. And people tell me all the time, oh, you're a genius, Jerron. Oh, you're so smart, Jerron. And it's like, well, yeah, I am smart, but what does that really fucking mean? Just because I'm smart doesn't mean that like I'm gonna do shit with that. I know plenty of people who are smarter than me who fucking do drugs and just fucking wild out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about the smarts, it's about the execution. And as I get older, I'm realizing, damn, what I need like-minded individuals to step up to the plate and to ride together, right? But then also what we talked about, which seems to be the theme of all this, is setting up the next generation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because when I die or when I quit or when I retire, if there's not another me, the fuck? Yeah. Right? It's all pointless, right? And I'm not expecting my son to be me, right? Because that's not the pressure I put on my family. If he wants to be me, that's great. But there's plenty of other me's out there, right? Like who are willing to come into this building and be like, all right, well, how do I be like you? Or how do we do the things that you want to do? How do I make my
kind of like that guy Hove said, he turned the cane into champagne. You know what I mean? So now it's his kid's job to turn that champagne into something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A different champagne. You did what I'm saying?
Yeah. Space.
So it's like, so it doesn't necessarily, like you were saying, Voodoo, it's not necessarily you're going to have to follow that same lane, but you may have to learn that lane.
Yeah.
You have to learn in that lane to obtain, And what you learn in that lane is what you apply to your lane.
Exactly. It's how you make your lane stronger.
Yeah. So it's like,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, my dad was a mechanical. Okay, I'm going to be an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to be a spaceship engineer now.
Nah, I think
my
about that
grandkids
because,
gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So,
but, no, my father, like, he was in the military for computer science, and so when I was 5 years old, we had a computer in our house. We had the internet. Prodigy was what it was called in 1984, 95, 85. Prodigy, one of the first internet services. We had like MS-DOS. We had all the software. My father would always come home with new software saying, son, install this. Now, flash forward, I'm 38 years old. My father passed away damn near 30 years ago at this point. But I'm not a computer nerd. I'm not like over here like hacking into the mainframe of the White House and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot about computers, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot about computers. I'm actually pretty fucking good at computers to the point where I've used that knowledge, that skill set, and applied it into my career, and it's only helped me immensely.
Hey, cuz Pete, did you see how they the motherboards of the back of the computers and the back of the TVs and all of the different stuff is set up exactly how the neighborhoods is set up and how communities is set up.
Interesting. I might have to fact check you on that. Where'd you hear that from,
bro? Bro, for real.
No, it makes sense. Not next.
If you just think of it,
like a circuit board, yeah.
It's like a circuit board is the same thing as if a community. That's the same thing as if this lab. The same thing as what you're saying is like
capacitors and in different forms. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
A
neighborhood is similar to a motherboard in the sense that there's certain things that make it work.
I'm talking about parks. I'm talking about golf court. I'm talking about if you look at it, you will be able to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying?
No, I feel that.
And that's what we capable of. That's what we are all capable of. We are our own universes, in my opinion. But we are all one universe together. If it doesn't make sense, but that's just how it makes sense, though.
Yeah, I'm about to spin off into some shit because I was actually talking to my son about this morning about an article. It was actually a YouTube video that I watched. I talked about how we now may think that the Big Bang Theory might be inaccurate in the sense that things weren't created from a giant explosion the way that we think, but rather things fluctuate, and swell, right? Like a lung, like when we breathe. I'm saying it compresses, contracts. So you believe that the universe is more like a living being in that sense. And so I was telling my son this.
Mother Nature. Go ahead.
Well, I was explaining this to my son, and I was like, well, the reason why I explain this to you is because right now the multiverse is so hot. We got all these movies talking about multiverses and all that. But what this new theory kind of suggests is that it's not necessarily a multiverse, it's a rebirth. That we come back.
Happy you said that.
That this conversation may have happened millions of times already in just a different format. Maybe I was sitting there, maybe you're sitting there. You know what I'm saying? But the fluctuation, the chance to do it again over and over again, to kind of repeat yourself at the same frequency, the same flow. So it's not necessarily a multiverse, it's more just like a repetitive universe.
Yeah.
And just knowing that concept, even though this is a theory, keep in mind, we don't know this is the answer, it makes me a little bit less apprehensive about death, because if I die, then I know that the universe is just going to swell or collapse and re-swell, and I'll be back here in another eon or two.
Yeah, I'm maybe,
and this
right?
This
is just what I'm going to say. Maybe when you so-called what you said, you see a bright light. Either you walk towards that light, like the same thing that you were saying with that plant. You know what I'm saying? Or you go backwards and you hold on to and you get reincarnated. Like that you know what I'm saying?
You just described the movie Soul.
Because we
Have you seen Soul?
Because as above, so below. No, I haven't seen.
Oh, you gotta watch Soul. That's literally what you just described.
I probably have.
Jamie Foxx, the Pixar movie?
Oh no, probably not. But you know where they be hiding all of the gems at?
In the movies.
In them kids movies.
Yep, that's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Soul, kids' little cartoon movies. Yeah. The brand.
No, Soul's literally that though.
They gotta put it. Everything is like you said. It gotta be in plain sight, bro. And there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under what they call, or maybe the firmament. Is that what the word they've been using?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing really. It's just like you said. It's just repeated processes and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I was talking with somebody about artificial intelligence, AI, the whole thing right now.
Right.
And Google came out and said, and Google's like, oh, we don't know what the fuck we're dealing with this AI. right? Like, you guys got to be careful with this because, you know, it's creating its own consciousness and we don't know how it's doing that. And I just laughed because the thing that's funny about that is that we as humans don't even know how our own fucking brains work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is all just fucking made up reality to us right now. Just understanding consciousness.
First, we have to, this is what I'm going to tell you. Our gut is our brain.
Yeah.
And we've been taught that our brain was our, you know what I'm saying, what I mean?
It's like attached, yeah. So, our gut health is directly related to our mental health.
And even intuition, you get the intuition from the stomach. You get everything from here, you know what I'm saying? So we have to really, like one of these young men said, you have to unlearn and then relearn. You understand what I'm saying? So, and we have to just, you know, everybody ain't gonna adapt to that shit either. You know what I'm saying? Some people is not gonna, we have to be okay with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not gonna adapt. Everybody's not looking to be a CEO. Everybody's not looking to be a fucking NFL.
I think that's
everybody's
part
not
of it too.
Yeah, like everybody.
You kind of hit something that I kind of forgot about is the fact that I put my team and my friends and my family to a pretty high standard where it's like we're all meant to be great. You're great. You're great. You're gonna be fucking great. I tell Joey all the time, you're gonna be fucking great. He might not believe that. I mean, I'm sure that after I tell him enough, he will start to. Yeah. But like you just said, not everybody's meant to be great. There's a balance to the universe. For every shitty person out there, there's an amazing person, and vice versa. Yeah. And oftentimes I forget that because I always look at everybody for their potential, right, instead of what they are. And like my wife tells me that all the time, where she's like, "You gotta stop looking at people for their potential." And it's like, well, you know, I see fucking crazy potential in them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that person's gonna be fucking amazing. And they might not want amazing, and I feel sad, right? And so then, but it's not my fault, right? Because the universe just didn't have that in the cards for them. And that's really hard to deal with.
What's that word? What's that one word? People been using it. You're an empath.
Yeah, I'm definitely an empath. 100%.
Like motherfuckers is empaths and stuff. You know what I mean? Some people are just, people got the healing spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
We got the healing vibe, man.
No, I'm definitely an empath. It's not easy being that because
it's not. I am too. Also,
you often sacrifice. So there's a lot of sacrifice involved in being an empath.
For sure.
Too much is given, much is expected. You know what I'm saying? I guess. And hold up, what's another popular word everybody using? Conscious.
Toxic.
Conscious. No. Oh no, listen. It's crazy. It rhymes with that.
Yeah.
Conscious.
Yeah.
Conscious.
Yeah.
The conscious. You know what I'm saying? The conscious community or the whatever the people that, you know what I mean? I'm none of that.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah.
The woke society.
The woke society, basically.
Fuck out of here.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a very spiritual dude, but like, it's not in like the sense that people have been trying to frame it as. It's really hard to explain, and I think that that's because it's not meant to be explained. Our vocal capabilities and our ability for our mind to process is not able to explain half the things that I feel and understand about the world. And that's by design, because if we couldn't really understand and explain ourselves in the true way, we would already be enlightened. We would already know the meaning of life and all these things and all the secrets of the universe, but we don't. So, but anyways, I think this is actually a good place to stop. We're at the 55-minute mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate you, man. This is a great conversation, dog.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate y'all, bro. For real.
We'll have to bring you back for another show and chop it up about, the universe and things like that. But where can people find you? If people want to fucking reach out to you or like connect with you, where can they find
UShineDetailing.com. We got the website. You can also follow us at UShine Detailing on Instagram as well.
Get that
you can get the UShine ceramic spray
right here,
on the website.
Put it on a close up, bro. Put it on a close up.
Yeah, we can actually get the UShine ceramic spray immediately on the website.
Yeah, make sure you cop that, man.
You can find me on Dopo Music, or is that as well.
Yeah, and we'll put the links in the comments of the caption of this video, which we haven't been doing. I should be doing that in the last two videos for Tater Crown and Davi, and I haven't been doing that, so I'm gonna go back and do that. So when you go, make sure you go check out those videos because those are also great interviews. Awesome. And once again, we appreciate you. Are you down to do a little performance situation?
Yeah, we could do a performance.
Bad.
Got one of the songs, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah, we'll set that up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and end this live stream. We appreciate you guys watching the live stream.
Appreciate y'all so much.
We have plenty of followers, plenty of comments. We'll read those. We love you guys. And basically the plan is that we're gonna go ahead and end the stream, and then we're gonna record Rocadopolis' performance, and you can find it on the episode when it posted a couple days on our Cult Life YouTube channel. That's QULTLYFE on YouTube to find the full version of this episode. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. We will see you later. One love.
One love, y'all.
Peace.
Why do they label us criminals when we just really the criminals? Fuck you and all of your interviews. Y'all just gonna give us the minimum. I just been building my stamina, working as hard as a janitor, making it hard on these challenges. Really, they fighting themselves. I just get focused on wealth. Moving this move is a sell. I probably go swim with the whales. I know that they wish they could feel.